Okay, welcome everybody to the very first RELLU IB podcast. I am your host for today. My name is Nico, and we are joined by our very lovely co-host,
Yasin.
Now, the plan for this very episode is actually an introduction. So we will talk about this podcast specifically, what we're going to do with the podcast, what is our goal with the podcast, general information about where we're going and what is going to happen, what are the future episodes going to look like. Then we're going to hit the topic of RELLU IB. So what is RELLU? What is IB? Where exactly is this? What are we doing there? What is our role? Stuff like that. And then at the end, we're going to have a little bit about ourselves, so you get used to the host, because we will be hosting most, if not all of the episodes in the future. So you can get a kind of sense of who we are, and I don't know, it'll work out for the best.
Exactly.
Now, first thing I would like to say about the podcast is what its goal is. So the goal of this podcast, if you can picture in your head, the goal of this podcast is to get everyone introduced thoroughly, not even thoroughly, but introduced into the IB.
Exactly.
Now, what we want to strive for is to kind of show you guys what the atmosphere is, who the people are, and what it's like to study in the IB. So we will have guests, for example, like teachers. We'll have students. We'll have people in any way, shape, form related to RELLU or the IB. So the idea that after this whole kind of podcast series, the season, anything, you will know for certain if you want to go to IB, what the IB is about, and who are these awesome people that take IB.
All right.
Now you can explain to the audience a little bit about RELLU and a little bit about IB.
Okay, so what is RELLU and what is the IB? Well, RELLU is a nickname for the school that we go to, Tampere Lucian Lukio, and basically it's the school that hosts the IB line that we go to, the International Baccalaureate. I'm pretty sure that all of you already know what the International Baccalaureate is. It's an international schooling program that we are a part of, and it's done entirely in English. However, some schools do give it in other languages. Nico?
Yeah, and I would say a little bit more about the IB itself. Is you have 6 subjects, so you kind of, or 6 to 7. Well, you study a certain set of subjects. I can run them through you real quick. You have to have a mandatory English and math. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, so you have, they're actually separated into different blocks. The first block is your strongest language. So it doesn't necessarily have to be English. It can be it could be a different one. The second block is a different language, so your second strongest language, or a second second strong language. The third block is the human sciences. Fourth block is the mathematics. Fifth block is the natural sciences, and the sixth one is either visual arts or an extra language or science. So later on, we're going to tell you actually our own subject choices and maybe why we chose the choices very briefly.
And a little bit about RELLU IB. I'm not sure if you stated already. This resides in Tampere, Finland.
Yes.
And when you're looking, it's a high school program, and looking at all the high school programs in Tampere where we live, this is the only one that is in English. Now, don't get me wrong. There are other programs not related to the high school. There's the AMIS, which is
Tredo, which is it's a vocational college. So you get a degree. With the degree that you get from a vocational college, you're able to immediately start working. However, Lukio is more preparatory for university.
Yes, exactly. So there are some vocational colleges and some courses that you can't take in English.
Yes.
But if you want to go to university, if you don't really know what you're doing yet, and you just want to study in a school, then this is the only option in English.
Exactly.
And in RELLU, there's actually 3 different programs. So you have the normal program, where there's 5 classes. So the 5 classes of the normal program. Then you have 1 class for the European line. We might go into that in another episode. We might, dive deep into that.
Have some guests.
Have some guests from there, yes. And then the 2 classes for the IB. So there's only 2 classes in the whole of Tampere that study in English, like a high school.
Exactly.
And study in English. So that gives you a rough estimate of how kind of rare our program
Yeah.
is. So a lot of you people, if you live in Tampere or you kind of live somewhere else in Finland, you might not know about the IB because it is a very specific, a very kind of, I don't know how to put it, but it's a very rare and special line that not a lot of people get into or go to. And yeah, that's pretty much, I would say, what RELLU and IB is. Now, if you have any questions about the if you have any questions about the IB, you should just stay tuned. We have
Exactly.
plans for, like I said, all the teachers. We have a lot of students going to be joining us. We're going to take you through pre-IB, IB. We're going to take you through CAS, EE, TOK, IAs, all that. There's so much stuff that we're going to talk about and share our experiences on so that you can actually get a full understanding. So if you're in 9th grade right now, you should most likely, or even if you're just thinking about kind of changing or going to the IB at any point in life, now is the time to listen.
100%. Moreover, you can also like directly ask us question. We have a lot of our socials, it's like linked into with the channel, and moreover, you have the email that's also available that you can actually send this question to. Obviously, you can also ask to be interviewed and tell us why you want to be interviewed, and all of these other things. So it's going to be great. We want you, the audience, to be very involved in this podcast because even though we are hosting, we want to have as much of you as possible.
Yeah, and just another pointer that this is going to be our the first podcast we are creating and doing. So we might not have too much experience, or pretty much we don't have any experience yet. So any sort of feedback, any constructive criticism would be lovely.
Is acceptable.
So pretty much, if you have anything to say, just do it. Like just contact us, and we'll most likely be in touch. Yes. So that's kind of the basis of this podcast. It's also kind of just a startup. But I think what you guys would like is for us to a little bit introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
So Yassine, would you like to begin?
All right. So like I said before, my name is Yassine. I'll actually start off with my subject choices, so you can like just get a little bit of an idea of what kind of person I am. My higher level subjects, which have a little bit more material than standard level subjects, are English, mathematics, physics, and chemistry. I also have Finnish and economics as my standard levels. Now, you noticed, I didn't mention this before, but you need 3 minimum higher levels and 2 minimum standard levels. Obviously, you can have a 7th subject, but that's not mandatory. You noticed that I had 4 HO subjects, and that's actually not because I'm pretentious and annoying, but rather
I would disagree. Sorry.
But no, rather because
You're indecisive.
I'm indecisive, and I don't know which I want to choose between chemistry and physics. So what I'm able to do actually is take both of them as higher level, and beyond drop one of them into a standard level. And what that does is that it's easier to go from a higher level to a standard level than a standard level to a higher level, because you don't have to do any catching up, because the higher levels do all the material of the standard level and more. What else? A lot of my hobbies. I'm a technical person. I spend a lot of time on my computer and programming and doing all kinds of stuff. However, I also do. I work out. I skate from time to time. I enjoy doing a lot. I have a lot of hobbies going on at this time. I'm usually handling the technical parts of the podcast, while Nico is handling the planning, the guests, and
the topics
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nico, you wanna introduce yourself?
Yeah. So a little bit about my subjects. I can start off that I have a higher level English, math, physics, and then for my standard levels I have biology, economics, and Finnish B. So it's kind of like Finnish as a second language. And well, I don't think there's much explanation I have about my subject choices, but I can tell you guys a little bit about what I like to do and what kind of person I am. So I would say I'm very outgoing. I like to chat with people. I like to have fun, and I don't really like doing a lot of stuff alone at home. So I actually have a lot of hobbies. For example, I play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I also like programming, which is kind of counterintuitive. I don't want to stay home and study, but I can do some programming every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I delve into the arts, writing poems, texts, stuff like that. I can draw as well a little bit. And I wouldn't consider it a hobby because I get paid, but I am also a coach. But I really love coaching, and it is something I would spend most of my time doing if I had the opportunity. But the fact that I get paid also means that I don't get any cash.
Oh.
So
Wait, what is CAS?
what is CAS? Well, CAS, we will have another episode about CAS, but CAS is pretty much creativity activity service. So CAS, you will have a bunch of activities outside of school that will be counted in to your kind of IB learners
Profile.
goal. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, so it's basically this program where the school is actually not, the right word here isn't monitoring, but rather like just the school wants to know what kind of person you are and how you spend your free time. And actually that's what universities really care about, is what kind of person you are rather than just you being able to get good grades. Because in real life, no one really cares, do they?
Yeah, no. It also ruins a lot of the fun. For example, like if you're already in a very active person, then it's pretty much, you can just mark it all as CAS. But I would suggest that kind of follow along, try new things, try to get as much as you can into CAS, because that is a lot of where your fun will be.
Actually, I think I have a different point of view here. Because you said that it demotivates you from your work. I feel like it's a really good motivator to do your work. Not do your work, like to do hobbies and try new things. Because in a way, you kind of always getting something back. There's always like this little dopamine hit when you see this activity that you put in, and it, like you just like, it gets accepted by the teacher. So it always kind of feels nice. But we kind of, but I do see your point.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say that I would. I enjoy CAS for the future benefits. I enjoy CAS for the fact that universities will see what I'm doing, how active I am, but the actual inputting of all of that is really annoying. But yeah, I think that wraps about ourselves.
Exactly.
The next 2 episodes I can already talk a little bit about that. So the next episode,
Not too many spoilers though.
not too many spoilers, but for the next episode I have planned the pre-IB and the first year of IB. And actually the episode after that will be the, last year of IB. So pre-IB, we're going to have some first years. We are, by the way, in the second year. So we've done pre-IB and now we are in the IB, kind of the 2-year IB, the program.
Yeah.
So we will have some first years with us next episode, and the episode after that, we're probably going to have second years, first years, third years, could be anything. So we're gonna have a more general discussion about the year we are in the IB, and that's the plan for the first couple episodes. But whenever this is released, I hope everyone writes us all the questions, any kind of comments you have.
As much feedback as possible.
Yes.
All of it is appreciated.
All of it helps. Yeah, and spread this to your friends. Obviously.
Oh yeah, free marketing.
Yes. Spread this to your friends. This is, by the way, just a short introduction, and I would like to point out that none of the episodes are going to be like what we did here. So
you can feel a lot more natural.
Yeah.
Not as corporate as they do right now.
Yes. And we are not just going to kind of bullet through a bunch of information. Now, there's going to be a lot of valuable information. Don't get me wrong. Don't stop watching if you're looking for information. But we also get in more of the kind of attitude, like kind of the more relaxed.
Yeah, the fun aspect.
Yeah, it's the fun, relaxed aspects of ourselves with still a lot of information. Yeah, just kind of spread out with more time. This was more of a concise, what we're doing, what's the plan, and how it's going to work.
Exactly.
So hopefully, with this episode, you all now understand what the idea here is and what we're doing. So, yes.
Stay excited for the next episode. Don't forget to tune in. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. I'm just so tired. I'm just like, I feel so drained.
But this also is more robotic, which is I don't like it. I can't be as
natural as usual.
Yes,
maybe our self-sport.
It's a short one. Can you?